This first item is a Utica multi-tool knife. Here, let me zoom in on this for you. Just make that out right there. So it's a kind of a cool little knife. I like the shape of that blade. But you can take these pieces here. This hook goes around that pin in there. And there you go. You got yourself a little hammer. And this came with more tools. Here's a screwdriver and here's a chisel. And I think the original kit might have came with more stuff, but I don't have it. But I paid about $5 for this whole set right here, and I'll clean that up in another video at some point. Next, I got these 3 items at a yard sale. 2 Volkswagen gas caps off of, I think, old Beetles, Volkswagen Beetles. And I got this mortising chisel. Kind of hard to make out that mark right there. Cast steel, and I don't know what that top line says. Something toner, maybe, T-O-N-E-R. So I always keep an eye out for cheap sandpaper when I can get it. And I got here different size, different grits. Here's 500, 800, 400, and 360. And these were each 10 cents a piece. And this was a $4 box. And I've already used a few of these. I've restored an old hand plane and I used a bunch of them already. So Shannon and I refinished furniture, or I made some furniture in the past, and I wanted to get a little sander like this with a point that I can get into the corner when I'm sanding out, like I don't know, the corner of a shelf or a drawer, just to get in there, because my round sander doesn't really get that spot. So I paid $10 for this, and I already have a bunch of sandpaper that I got cheap at another different yard sale that fits these sanders. For $3.75, I got a whole bunch of blades. Let me take them out for you. So you can see I got some new ones in there. This blade right here is worth $12 at Home Depot. So I'd say it was a pretty good deal for $3 for this container here. I got all of these bits. I bought a bunch of blades brand new last year at Home Depot, and their average price is about $3 a blade. These Lennox blades are nice, and they're from 1995, made in USA. I got a whole bunch of wood carving tools here. This lot was $4, and this one was $3, so $7. I'll open them up right now and show you what I got. So this set right here is flex cut, and this one would have came with a handle that you could interchange. Just take it out and use a different blade on it or a different gouge. But I don't have the handle, but I feel like I could probably make one or find one online if I needed to replace it. Just to have a wider selection for when I'm carving. Like, look at this one right here. This is absolutely tiny. Nice for some detail. And then this set over here came with all these tips. Kind of a similar thing, just all different sizes and little shapes in here. So here's some square ones I never used before. The V cutting tool is that's a nice shape right there. Each of these cost $1 each, and let me go over what they are. These are small files, just for little detailed work. Chrome edge, Swiss pattern. This here is a leather punch by the Osborne company, C.S. Osborne, and you could punch leather or wood or, you know, other materials with this cardboard to make a hole in it. So you could put a grommet or something like that. This is a Starrett company. Starrett. And they make machining tools, but this is just a punch. And just one to add to the collection that I have of punches. It's a unique size for me. And I have a fascination with these linoleum flooring hook knives. I have a plan for them in the future. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. This is a Craftsman Handy Cut. Great for cutting probably a multitude of things. I'm going to need to get a new blade. As you can see, that's bent, but they're replaceable. You just take the screws out and put a new one in. This is a Distin coping saw, and some new blades for $1. I'm always on the lookout for old pencils. Here's an old carpenter's pencil. Stanley, helps you do things right. Nice little motto. And then I have some drawing pencils. Different hardnesses, which is great. This is a sharpening stone, and it's got a fine side and a coarse side. This is just an example. Made in Norway. Might use it. So that was a nice find for $2. It's almost brand new. Not really used much at all. So for this box of stuff, I paid $5 at a yard sale. It was an old woman just selling some of her husband's tools that they didn't want anymore. This is most of that stuff out of the box for $5. You got some battery terminal cleaners. Here's a hide tool scraper. You throw a blade in there, replaceable blade, and for scraping off wallpaper and, other random uses. Here are some blades, razor blades. Just slide them out of the dispenser here. Here's a Stanley knife. Here are some Allen wrenches. And these here are for cutting glass. Came with a few flashlights. Interesting looking knife. That's a weird handle. I've never seen one like this. Maybe that's replaceable. I'm not sure. I haven't taken it apart yet. So I got 5 sets of scissors. These here are whisks. This came in that $5 box, and it's you can use it for sanding. Pneumatic hookup. This is kind of a neat item here. See that when you press the plunger, it opens up that, and you could grab something, pull it out. I spent the $5 on that box mainly for this block plane here. It's just an older Stanley 60.5p. Just a nice little plane to have for my tool bags. I paid more money for this box here. I paid $26. All this came out of that box for $26. I'm going to go over it quick. Here are some wire strippers. These are some pliers from a Toyota toolkit. Probably came in a Toyota pickup or something like that. These are a nice size channel locks right here. These 3 are all Pittsburgh, more Harbor Freight, Chinese-made tools. But Allen wrenches, those are always good to have around. And these are Torx. You see, it's like a star bit. Some nippers. This is nice for punching holes in leather belts. Say you lose some weight and you need to punch a hole, or just for leather working in general. So I paid up for that box for these 2 pieces right here. And what they are letters A, B, C, D, E. You see right there. And you got the numbers as well. And they're 1/8 inch stamps. Here are some examples of it. So this is redwood right here. It's pretty soft. And I'll probably use them on wood, but you can see how it sinks in pretty deep into that soft redwood. And this is poplar right here, poplar wood. And you can see how they don't go in as far, and you can read them a little easier. I wanted to get these to add to my collection. I paid $5 for this set right here. These are C.H. Hansen Company, made in USA. These are really nice. These are 1/2 inch ones. So as you can see right there, they're much bigger. I did really well this week finding axes for my collection. I have a friend who collects axes, and he was looking to downsize and sell some of them, and he gave me these at a really good price. I paid about $10 a piece for them all. This one I got at a different yard sale for $8, and that's a Craftsman. That's a Craftsman, just older model. This handle is off of Cayuga. Let's see if you can see me on that. but it's for a boy's axe, and this axe head on here is not the right, it's not the right fit. So I'll probably reuse this handle on a smaller axe. But it's great to have a nice vintage handle for another vintage axe head that I have. And this here is a plumb, and it's got a flat side for, you know, hewing, just a little hewing hatchet. And that's an older stamp. I haven't really seen many plumb just like that. Plumb USA. I'm not sure of the date, but that's a nice looking one. And here is a Craftsman. And you don't see too many, well, let me put it this way. I don't see too many with that wave pattern. So that's an older model hewing hatchet as well. It's got a flat side. You can use that to flatten a log and have a flat side for making beams. That's how they used to make beams back in the day. So this is a Puget Sound falling axe. This is something that the loggers would have used, you know, back 100 years ago, maybe a little even more, for clearing out the big redwood trees and just those big diameter trees. They use these long skinny bits, and you know, that's about 3 inches right there. And then zoom in, show you what you got. That's a Kelly axe with the U.S. Forest Service stamps on it. Look at that, 4-pounder. 38 inches almost. This is a nice cruiser bit. It is a Bransfors Brooks, made in Sweden. You can see the little crown there, GAB, 2.5-pounder. But yeah, the handle's a little swoopy, so I might have to replace that. But that's another awesome one for the collection. It's nice to find a nice Swedish axe. I don't find too many of those around here. And this right here is a Norland. Look how small that is. That's about 6 inches long right there. And the cutting bit is 2 3/4 inch. Let's compare it to the cruiser bit. Look at that. Little kid's double bit axe. These are my favorite finds of this week. I'm really lucky to have a friend give me such a good deal on these axes. You know, $60 for, or $50 for these 5, you know, really rare axe heads, in my opinion. I mean, you're really not going to find a Forest Service axe head like that. There's probably not very many of these. It's about more than 12.5 inches long. So overall, I spent about $133 this past 2 weekends buying tools, and a lot of, I mean, half of it came from the axes alone, and those are going to go to my collection. Some of this stuff, like the Sawzall blades, I use for work or for just at home, and some of this stuff I actually sell on eBay, so I'll recoup some of this money so I can keep collecting. Thanks for watching my video, guys.